We've got a trio joining us for today's conversation. Abraham Rodriguez, Paloma Esparza Rabinov, and Donato Fatuesi all played instrumental parts in the new film, Mean Girls. Hey guys, tell us more about the movie.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
Thank you for being here. We're super excited. What exactly attracted you to Mean Girls?
For me, when I got the email that the director, Awal, wanted to meet with me, reading a story that was so close to how I grew up was the first thing that intrigued me. I grew up with a dad who loved soccer, funny enough, Las Chivas, just like we see in Mean Girls. And I also played soccer, not so much because I loved the sport, but because I wanted to bond with my dad, you know? So that was definitely something that connected me to this character. And yeah, really, really happy and grateful to represent the Latino community, but also the queer community. And yeah.
Can you tell us also who you play on the movie?
Yes, I play Tenoch. He's an adorable gay Latino who joins an LGBTQ soccer team to bond with his father over their shared love of the sport before he eventually, unfortunately, loses his battle to Alzheimer's. But when Tenoch finds out that the LGBTQ team is filled with mean-spirited players, the mean gays, he devises a plan to beat them at their own game, essentially. So, yeah.
I love that. What about you? Like, tell us about your character. Tell us a little bit about how you got into this project.
Yeah, my name's Paloma Esparza Rabinov. I am an actor filmmaker, and I've been actually working with Juan Amaro, our writer and director, for the past couple of years in a variety of LGBTQ Latino intersectional stories. So when he told me about this project, of course, I was immediately on board because I started acting when I was 10 years old. And growing up in LA, it was this whole trajectory of realizing all the stereotypes that you're fit into. And you're never feeling like you're actually playing grounded, nuanced characters. And for Latinos especially, you're often stereotyped as like a cholo or a gangbanger. And he's been writing so many incredible, beautiful stories about all these different kinds of people in politics, in positions of health, and now sports. I was just immediately on board just to have the opportunity to play a new character that I've never had the opportunity to play before, which was a lesbian soccer girl.
Okay, you better work.
I play, I play Melina, which is Tenoch's cousin, who is also a co-caretaker of his father, who has Alzheimer's.
Can we also talk about the fact that women in sports and also women in soccer are, can I say, badass? They're amazing. I mean, when I watch soccer, I rather watch the female soccer team, but that's just me. But it's so cool that you get to play this character and really bring it to life, and also bring the Latina out of it. You know?
And Tenoch creates a soccer team of diverse people. It's not just male soccer players or male identifying. We have Alexis and Melina on the team.
Yes, I can't wait to hear more about this experience.
Talofa, thank you all so much for having me. I'm Donato Fatuesi. I am Fa'afafine and Leiti from Samoa and Tonga. And I started in this industry about 3 years ago. And really what spoke to me about the character of Alexis and this project specifically is that we've seen, with even just the last year, over 500 anti-trans bills attacking our queer and trans communities, specifically in areas of sport, drag and artistry, and schools, and so many others, right? And so it means so much to me to embody a trans character in sports that helps shift that narrative, right? We know that next year we're looking to host the FIFA World Cup here in the US alongside Mexico and Canada, and that in 2028 we'll be hosting the Olympics here in LA. So I think this is like a pivotal moment that we could amplify a story like Mean Girls into the national conversation that centers queer and trans people. And I'm grateful that Tenoch recruits Alexis, who Tenoch hasn't seen prior to her transition, right? And so I think that helps to deepen that bond, but also calls in other queer folks to be like, hey, your trans friends or your trans siblings that you may have lost touch with, here's an opportunity to reconnect with them and check in on them. And I'm grateful that I get to play alongside both Paloma and Tenoch.
Exactly. And just because you transition doesn't mean that you lose your abilities that you had
To play
before.
sports, yeah.
100%.
You know what I mean?
How does Mean Girls address, kind of going on what you're saying, address transphobia and homophobia in sports?
Yeah, I think what's really interesting is Tenoch's character is first trying to join the West Hollywood Tricks, right? And there is a level of Tenoch's character not being good enough or hot enough to join, right? So I think even within that, within our own queer communities, we sometimes shut each other out over the most smallest of things, right? And Tenoch, with his big heart, right, goes and recruits a completely diverse group of people from all of these different intersectional identities that comes back to play against them. Right. And it's like, there's power in that, right? And so it's within those differences that we get to lean in on building a stronger, diverse team, right? That also is inclusive of a trans person like Alexis.
And you're bringing humor
Yeah.
into the story, which is so great. So I feel like a lot of times people are afraid of what they don't know, but then when you make them laugh, it kind of melts their heart a little bit. It makes them feel a little more open-minded, you know, because then you can see the human side of things. And I feel like Mean Girls does that. Am I right?
Yeah,
like, I feel like the humor in it. Can you talk a little bit about that, and also like maybe mixed in a little bit of masculinity and what that means to you and the film, because that's something that we've been talking about.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, first generation Mexican American in a very toxic masculinity environment, getting to now play this role in Mean Girls, we get to show the relationship between Tenoch and Ray, his father, and how the love that his father has for him, it doesn't matter what his sexual preference is. And we see that with Tenoch's love interest, Robbie. He's a bisexual character. And yeah, it's really, really nice to be able to show this and have the kids and everybody, you know, growing up that's gonna watch this, be able to see someone like me who's gay, who's still playing the sport. And what I also love about Mean Girls is it doesn't like throw it in your face. It's not, Tenoch's entire identity and character isn't the fact that he's gay. You know, it's sprinkled in there, but it's so much more important to focus on the things like, you know, soccer and the community that we get to experience through sports like this. So we hope that, you know, the film brings people from all different backgrounds together.
I love that.
To play soccer, just to have fun.
The importance of intersectionality, I think it's highlighted in this film, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because you are bringing so many different aspects of your life into this one, you know, thing. And then soccer is kind of like that bond that brings you all together. But in the end, you're all different, you know, and that's amazing.